I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Come couch with me.
So have you seen Thor Ragnarok? If you're not familiar with it, it's the third movie in the Thor series, starring Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Tom Hiddleston is back as Loki, as is Anthony Hopkins as Odin. New this time around is Cate Blanchett as Hela, and she is really just bent on destroying Asgard and everybody there. She's just the baddest of the bads. She's a lot of fun, and she has some wicked weapons that swords just come out of nowhere that she just has an unlimited supply, so she can really wreak havoc and kick a lot of butt. If you've seen the trailers, you know that Hulk is back also, and there's some good back and forth between Hulk and Thor. What was surprising this time around is how funny it actually was. Definitely much lighter than the first two. I really enjoyed watching just the banter. Chris Hemsworth got to really stretch his comedic legs. It's not wanting for any action. Basically, the Reader's Digest version of the film is that Hela comes back to destroy Asgard, and she is going to, or at least reset herself up as the new queen. So when she comes, she kills just a lot of people. She's really a one-woman army, but then when she brings back to life all of the dead Asgardians and her giant wolf thing, she's basically almost unstoppable. Thor is stranded on a planet, and surprisingly enough, Loki is there also. Thor is forced to fight in gladiator-style battles for the enjoyment of the Grand Master, played by Jeff Goldblum. And Jeff Goldblum is very witty, dry, and a little bit compassionate in a weird way. And so he just added a whole nother layer of fun and comedy. We get introduced to a few new characters. Valkyrie, for one. She is awesome. I hope she stays around in the upcoming Avengers Infinity War. There's also Korg, who is just kind of weird. He's a rock kind of dude, actually voiced by the director, Taika Waititi. There are a few cameos as well. I won't spoil who those are. I found myself really liking the comedy. I wasn't expecting it to be as funny as it was, and it really was a good break from the first two. The story was still solid, drew me in, kept me going, even though it's a little over 2 hours long. I didn't really feel the time at all, and so that was a good sign that the movie is enjoyable. One thing that's a little tiring to me, and I guess it goes though hand in hand with his name, is Loki, the trickster, who he shows up and you think you can trust him, and then sure enough he stabs you in the back, and then they repeat this. How many times do we go through this before Thor just says, no, you know what, I'm going to kill you, you're done? He keeps believing in his brother, and I guess to some point it pays off. I felt the story and the characters were much better developed than, say, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, where I thought the movie was relying mostly on the comedy and less on the story. It's not the case here. The story stands on its own. It's amazing, really well told, good pace, and then the comedy is there as that added bonus. So you get to just laugh your butt off in the seats. Thor Ragnarok is fairly family friendly. If you have younger kids, you get to make the call on whether or not it's appropriate for them. But it's stylized violence. There's certainly no gore, language to a very minimum, no sex, no real boozing it up even, if that's of a concern to you. Curious at how Thor Ragnarok fits within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that happens and how it ties into Avengers Infinity War. Overall, I really, really liked Thor Ragnarok. I give it 4.5 out of 5 couches. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.